All right, welcome everybody. I'm excited to officially start. As Ben said, my name's Eric Johnson, and what we're going to do today is what I'm going to try to do is just squeeze as much as I can into the time we have together. So kind of hold on to your seats, right? Get something ready to take some notes because I will be dropping a lot of info on you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Teamzy. We'll do a quick. I know some of you are using it. I'm going to do a quick setup, how to set it up, and I'll show you the workflows for crushing a power hour in the most efficient ways, right? And for those of you who aren't using it, it's going to like revolutionize your workday for sure. You're going to love it. Before I dive into the software, though, I do want to teach you a little bit about the system that Teamzy is based on, which is relationship marketing. I need you guys to understand kind of the heart and soul of the system. Teamzy is a software that helps you to implement relationship marketing into your business, if that makes sense. And it does it kind of effortlessly. We built it so that you really don't even have to understand what I'm going to teach you for it to work. It's kind of like I planted strawberries today in my backyard. I don't know how that works. I just put them in the ground and add water and the rest happens for me. That's kind of what Teamzy is like for you guys, but I'm still going to explain it. You ready? Okay. So let me just share screen. I got a quick presentation. Here we go. You guys seeing that? Systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. That's the topic I want to go through today. So there's 3 parts to it, right? One is we're going to teach you relationship marketing. That's going to help you be successful, but we're going to teach you how to put a system to it so that you can not only do it consistently, but it's easy for you to duplicate with team, right? And we're going to help you do it in less than an hour a day. That's where you become a power hour boss. I actually wrote a book called Power Hour Boss because this is what it's all about, is getting it done in less than an hour. Okay. So just a little backstory on me, and Ben and I were just talking about this. My background is business coaching and consulting. I've been a professional business coach and consultant this is my 21st year, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like being an Optavia coach, right? But more on the business end of things, coaching and helping people. So I've coached people in just about every business. I focused for many years on the real estate industry. And then from there, people were referred. So we've coached attorneys, we've coached people who own insurance agencies. Anybody, you name it, right? You name it, we've coached them all. And what happened to me was that I fell into the network marketing arena just like by accident, and I was looking for something something to do on the side. How many of you guys kind of got started that way? So I was, I had a career that I loved. I loved my job. It was really fulfilling. I never imagined doing anything else. But at the same time, I was feeling a little bit stuck at work. I was at the top of my income potential, couldn't earn any more income. And by God's good grace, we kept having babies. So it's kind of like, hey, some more money would be great, right? Not very good at growing my own food. And, I wanted to earn some more money, but even more than that, here's a shot of the family here. If I can get this to work, there we go. I wanted to be with my family more. That was my main motivation, was I was just constantly working. I felt like I never saw my family. I used to joke that my kids, I only saw them in their pajamas, right? They were in pajamas when I left for work, and they were in pajamas when I came home from work. And even though I loved my job, I knew that there was more to life than just the work aspect, right? I wanted more time. So I started looking for ways to really build something that would give me more time flexibility, and network marketing was a no-brainer, right? That's just the perfect opportunity for that. The challenge that I had was, how am I going to squeeze this into my day? I'm already so busy, right? How am I going to build my business when I have so many other things to do? And so I started looking for software or tools or something that would help me leverage my time. See, if I was consulting somebody, helping them in their business, the first thing I would do is say, okay, well, what can we do to make you more efficient, right? What efficiencies can we find? And what I found was there really wasn't anything for us, at least nothing I thought was easy enough to use or compelling or based on, relationship marketing, which is what we want to talk about today. So long story short, it seemed like a great opportunity to create something. So we built Teamzy. And just to kind of let you guys know what's happened in just over 5 years with Teamzy, we've had more than 150,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which is it's humbling, to be honest with you, but kind of amazing too, because we're not a big tech company. We are, we built this company from the ground up with zero debt, with no investors, right? making profit, that kind of thing. Just people sharing it, just like tonight, just like Ben sharing it with you guys tonight. And just to kind of give you an idea of results, our active users, they're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. So that's the average, 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Now, I'm going to always give you 90-day numbers because building a business has we call it a 90-day response curve. Does this make sense? So what you're doing today typically will pay you 90 days from now. You guys know that about business? It's true in any business. It's true in any business, the lead generation process. Okay. You're going to get a little extra stuff tonight because who knows what's going to come out of my mouth. I never know. So let's talk about relationship marketing. What is it? It seems like, when I started teaching, can you guys imagine, some of you have been doing this for a while and you explain to someone you're a coach and they're like, huh, a coach? So I've been a coach for 21 years. Do you know how hard it was to explain to people you're a coach, but it's not sports? What? And then I've been trying to explain relationship marketing for the same amount of time. Now, suddenly everyone's talking about coaches and relationship marketing, but I still think they're getting it wrong. So let me kind of break down for you what I mean by relationship marketing. First of all, relationship marketing is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts the relationships and people ahead of the sales and products. Now, our industry has kind of a bad reputation. And it's because for so long, it's been the opposite of this. People have been putting the sale ahead of the person. And people feel like my friends and family are just trying to sell me something. How annoying, right? So relationship marketing is not selling stuff to your friends. It's about investing in your friendships. Make sense? Okay, the second piece to this, next piece is, all right, went too far. Here we go. Come on, computer, work with me. Relationship marketing is also not some abstract feel-good concept. We're not going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya at the end of the call tonight. And I know some people with sales background are like, well, Eric, all this warm and fuzzy stuff, how's it going to get me results? I want you guys to understand that relationship marketing is a proven system. It's a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next, always knowing what to do next. I've been teaching this system 21 years. My kids and I have not missed a meal. I probably could afford to miss a few meals, and I'm talking to the right people right now, right? But not miss them, but maybe redirect them a little. But it works. Next, relationship marketing is also a lead generation system. I shouldn't say also, because this is its core. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Ultimately, lead generation is the heart and soul of our business, of any business. And all of you are not merely salespeople for Optavia. You're business owners, true? And the role of the business owner is lead generation. The first decision a business owner has to make is, which system will we use in this business? If you bought a restaurant, your job isn't washing the dishes and cooking the food and serving the plates. Now, you might do that work, but your job is to bring that restaurant customers, right? And so the first thing I want you guys to understand is that you're in the lead generation business. That's your business. As the owner, you're in the lead generation business. So you have to pick a system. You have to pick a system for your business, a way to build business, and hopefully something that's congruent with who you are as a person, something that's sustainable long-term, and that hopefully you'll have some fun doing, right? Okay, next piece here, principle. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Okay, so your role is to generate leads so that you can build relationships with those people. Make sense? Meet people, build relationships with people. Now you have a head start because you've already lived a life up till now. So you've met a lot of people already, which is great. So you can go deeper with those people while we meet new people and go deeper with them as well. The reason why our focus is on the relationship and not generating a sale or a customer or a coach, the reason why we focus on the relationship is because the key to the business long-term is turning relationships into advocates. Turning relationships into advocates. And we do that by investing time in providing outstanding service. I want you guys to get your head around this. You may meet somebody who's never going to use your coaching. they can still be an advocate for you. They can still be fired up about your mission and excited about what you're doing for people, that they feel compelled to share what you're doing with other people. Does this make sense? And so in relationship marketing, you're going to build an army of advocates. We're not just turning over rocks to see who needs to lose weight or who's ready to join, right? We're looking to share our mission and build an army of advocates who are out in the world advocating for us. And that's how this system really comes alive. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay. And the reason why I say that, and I giggle a little, is because let's be honest, our industry is full of jerks. This industry is full of jerks. Now, there are a lot of good people who are acting like jerks because they don't know any better. That's what they've been taught. That's what's being taught primarily, right? And so I want you guys to understand that if you've ever seen a training or read a book or done any sort of network marketing deep dive, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that. That doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't seem genuine to me. I feel a little disingenuous doing that. You were probably right. It probably was disingenuous. And so if you're going to do relationship marketing, here's the good news. Forget all that. You can't do any of it anyways, because it's like a house of cards. Trust is like a house of cards. You do one thing disingenuous, boom, it falls down, right? It's hard to build trust and easy to crush it. So we want to make sure we're not doing anything disingenuous. We want to focus on being authentic, on being real. Now, but the good news is that approach actually gets better results. Being real and authentic gets better results. So I just want you guys to know that the 1970s approach to sales is kind of dated, right? Also, trust makes the work fun. If people trust you, you're having fun all the time because you're not trying to convince people. You don't have to sell people into stuff. You get right to helping them. Also, trust removes the ickiness. I call it the ickiness from the sales process. That's when you feel icky and they feel icky. How many of you are worried about coming across icky? That's me too. Okay, good. Does anyone hate rejection? Let's just be honest. Who hates rejection? Okay, good. All right, this will be easy. You guys, I already got you on my side. I don't even have to go farther, right? You're in. Just show me the system. Okay, good. I hate rejection too. I have to tell you guys something, that a lot of what I'm going to teach you has been developed to protect myself from rejection. So you'll get to benefit from that too. And finally, you get to the other piece I love about the trust is that you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. Now, our industry teaches this concept of going for no. Have you guys ever heard that term, go for no? Like, here's the concept in a nutshell. You're just gonna blast everybody you know, just message them all, right? Your offer. And they're gonna reject you like crazy. Reject. You're going for no's. Don't worry about it, Eric. You're going for no's. No. Because after 100 no's, you're gonna get a yes. And boy, you're in business then. I'm like, I'm underneath my desk in the fetal position, sucking my thumb by then. Are you crazy? This is insane. I can't believe people teach that. And I can't believe people do it. Right? That doesn't make sense at all. The more no's you get, the closer you are to yes. No, that's not true at all. If you approach this right, you're going for yes all the time. Does that mean everybody's going to be like, sign me up now? No, of course not. But it does, but they're not, you're not going to be forcing them to reject you hard. Does this make sense? So I want you guys to kind of understand that this is the process is we're building advocates. Hey, look, I don't care if you ever use my services, but one thing I will tell you is you're going to be excited about what I'm doing and want to tell other people about it. And I'll just say this to you guys right now. For those of you watching this call live or on the recording, you might not use Teamzy, but I guarantee you're going to be excited about this presentation by the end of it. Why? Because my goal is to make you all my advocates. Does it make sense? So I want you guys to approach conversations with prospective clients the same way, with the same confidence. Make sense? Okay. So how do we build trust? Here we go. There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. I'll go through them quickly and then I'll explain them to you guys. Number 1 is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay, character is number 2. Number 3 is competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay. Took me about 3 years to get them all to start with C, but it's little details like that makes it easier. Okay. So let's go through these really quickly. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. It's just creating a connection with someone. Okay. Where do you have common ground with them? What is it about you they can relate to? This is very important. There's an important principle to this, which is that people prefer to do business with a friend. People prefer to do business with a friend. This is another thing we've been taught the wrong thing for forever. You see all those movies where it's like, it's not personal, it's just business, right? Business is personal. Business is personal. People prefer to do business with a friend. This is an age-old principle. So I don't know why people were in denial through the 80s and stuff, but people prefer to do business with a friend. Would you rather go to a restaurant and be customer number 6,726, or would you rather go into a restaurant and have the owner know you by name, already have your favorite appetizer ordered for you, right? Come sit down at the table with you for a minute, right? That's what we prefer. And so when you're meeting people, whether it's in real life, whether it's online, our first job is to create a connection, ask some questions, find out what we have in common. Does this make sense? Okay. So this is so important. The other piece that if you flipped it on its other side, nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. Right? Okay. Number 2, character. Number 2 is character. Hold on, I want to get ahead of myself. Here we go. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Just really quick on this, just notice something about this definition. We think of character as something we carry around and own based on what we've done in the past, right? I'm a person of good character, but I want you to understand that character is not something you have, it's something you do. It's in a daily intentional decision. And the way you demonstrate character is by showing others how you care for them. So this comes down to everything, the way we communicate, the way we follow up, how we post on social media, how we treat people, right? Do we give people our attention, right? Do we make people feel valued no matter what their position in life? Are you a courteous driver on the roads? Do you return the shopping cart in Target parking lot? All of these things demonstrate your care for others, don't they? Right? My kids, it's so funny. My kids, I have 4 kids. I have 3 little kids and 1 grown-up kid. So he's still a kid to me though. He thinks he knows it all, but he's still a kid to me. But my kids, you know how your kids pick up what you say and what you do so much. So if somebody leaves a shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot, my little one, she's almost 5. She'll be like, lazy. It's all good. I guess it could be worse, right? That she's picking up. My point is though, is that this is important, right? So if you have a big Optavia bumper sticker and you leave your shopping cart in the middle of the drive and drive away, what does that say? Right? These things matter. And people are watching your character. How many of you have decided not to do business with an individual or a business or a company in the last 12 months because you saw a deficiency in their character, in your opinion? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It might have even been a service you really loved or a company you loved in the past. I personally have about a dozen of those, maybe more this year, but we'll keep going. All right. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. What you guys do is a very high level of professionalism, right? So I'm not just buying a meal plan from you. You're going to be my coach, right? So how do I know you're competent at this? Why should I, right? I have lots of choices. I could choose from lots of coaches. Why should I choose you? So this is important. And look, here's the thing. You could be the best coach in the world, but I'm not going to know that if you're keeping it to yourself, right? It's something you need to demonstrate. You got to be demonstrating your competence constantly. So we do this through social media. Social media is our primary way of doing this right now because that's where people are watching us. But you got to be demonstrating your competence. So if you're brand new, do we have any brand new people on the call? Awesome. So if you're brand new, What you're showing is, oh, I just learned this. Did you know this? Wow, this is cool. And you're also sharing your own experience, your own story, right? Is a big piece of this. So competence doesn't mean I've got it all figured out. Competence means I'm getting better, right? It means I'm getting better. And if you're trying to help your cousin Susie, who, just a name I pulled out of the hat. Okay, so if I struck home with that one, just let it go. If you're trying to help your cousin Susie, who's seen you with your pants on backwards and may not think of you as a professional coach yet, right? For example, she needs to see that you're on a journey of improving. Make sense? So you need to be showing your competence, and it's little things. It's just little milestones. Hey, I learned this. I learned the importance of hydration. Did you know that? Or right, for example. Little side note, I actually talked to a gentleman who's starting a alkaline water machine company. You guys know about alkaline water? I learned all about alkaline water the other day. Like if I was you, I'd be like, I got to go on Facebook or Instagram, tell everybody about alkaline, what I just learned about alkaline water. So you're learning stuff all the time. Share it. Don't keep it to yourself. Share what you're learning from Optavia, like corporate or from the team. Share it as you go. And then when you're new, here's my advice to you. What we don't want to do is be fake. Never fake it. Okay, never fake it. So what you want to do is, if you're new, is you tell stories of your upline, tell stories of team members, of their success, of what they've accomplished, how they're mentoring you, so that people know that you're part of a winning team. Does this make sense? I used to have a mentor for many years. He was my boss, and he used to talk about the New York Yankees. Now, I'm not a New York Yankees fan. It's an analogy, okay? Because you either love those people or everyone hates them, right? But here was the point at the time, and this was the early 2000s, they were just winning all the time. Now we know, it was all steroids and all that, but that's water under the bridge. The point is they were winning all the time. And here was the analogy. He said, you know what, Eric, if you're a rookie, this is your first game ever in the major leagues, but you get drafted by the New York Yankees, and they give you those pinstripes and you put on the uniform. He goes, the second that uniform is buttoned up, you're part of a championship team. Your feet may have never hit the field yet, but you're now part of a championship team. And that's the mindset I want you guys to be in. Those of you who are new, I may not have won a championship yet, but I'm part of a championship team. And that's what you want to communicate. Does this make sense? All right, cool. So chemistry, character. The second piece of this is the second half. You're a business person. Great. So you lost 70 pounds using Optavia. Amazing. But how do I know you can help me build this business? Right? So that's the next piece, is demonstrating your business competence. And you do that by sharing, your little milestones. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I made a goal this week, or I ranked up. This is so amazing. Or I got this free gift from the corporate because I helped a few people this month, or whatever you have that you can share, these little milestones that people see that you're making progress. Make sense? They can see that you're serious, because the truth is they've already had several friends and family jump into a network marketing opportunity, and they don't necessarily believe you're going to run with this and be successful yet. A lot of them will wait and see. Right. And so some of you guys know my background was with Beachbody, which is similar to what you guys do somewhat. And so it was, the first thing I won was a bobblehead of one of the trainers. And then the next thing I won was like a water bottle. And then it was like every month I was winning these little trinkets from the company for hitting, these gifts, and I would just share them. People were like, wow, you're doing stuff, right? And so in the beginning, it wasn't like massive things, but just little milestones. Encourage people that you're making progress, and it makes them curious and want to learn more. Make sense? Are you with me? Okay. There's a principle behind these three: chemistry, character, and competence, that I want to share with you before I jump to number 4. And then we're real close to jumping into Teamzy. Hang in there. People are like, wait, wasn't there a software part of this? There was a software demo in here somewhere, right? It's coming. Don't worry. Here's the principle. When somebody's thinking of doing business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me, and are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me, and are you good at what you do? Now think about this for a second. They may not say these out loud. These are more of emotional. They're like, I call them soul questions, right? They feel these. But if somebody knows these are true, that they can trust you, that you care about them, and you're great at what you do, you have an advocate. Remember, an advocate is somebody who feels compelled to share with other people what you're doing, right? If somebody's not sure about any of these, they will raise objections. Do you ever get objections? Objections are a good thing. But what objections tell you is they don't know these yet. You have not earned their trust. You have not consistently demonstrated your care enough or your competence enough. Are you with me? So your job now is to help them get past that objection. Objection is somebody saying, I'm interested, help me to the next step, right? Help me feel better about you. So get in there, invest in that, but just know you got to continue to invest in that relationship to build the trust. If all you do is overcome objections to get the sale, you have a quitter on your hand. Does it make sense? Have you guys had people buy and quit? So that's what makes a quitter, is because, okay, but the trust isn't there. There's no foundation to that relationship. What helps people commit, especially to what you guys are trying to help people do, is trust in you. Okay, sorry, I'm getting deep on you guys. All right, so the last piece of this is, if they think any of these is a no, they can't trust you, or you're not good at what you do, or they don't think you care about me, guess what? They're not going to do business with you ever. And they will go out of their way to make sure everyone they know doesn't do it with you either. Right? And some of you are like, yep, that's totally me when I feel that way. I've done that to businesses myself. So these are very important to understand how importantly important they are, right? I like the word important. But when we went back to like not doing anything that violates trust, relationship is huge, because if they feel you're untrustworthy, it's over, right? And it's almost impossible to come back from that. So we want to be very intentional that we keep our word on everything. And it's down to little things, you guys. I mean, I didn't mention this when I was talking about character, but it's like being on time for things. Being on time for things is huge. It's huge. I go back to my kids. I ask my kids, what does it mean to be late? And because I've trained them, they say it means you feel more important than the person you're meeting with. So that's what people receive, right? So these things matter. So not that I'm never late, like I'm a human being, right? But when you arrive late, you need to arrive on your knees begging forgiveness and make sure people know that you're making them a priority, right? So next, consistency. Number 4 is consistency. This is what we need to do. This is the work, right? We got to do the work. We got to do the work. Beware someone who says, trust me, right? People who say, trust me, usually are not trustworthy. You have to be consistent to earn trust. People need to see that you're consistent. They need to know that you're trustworthy based on what you've done or what you're doing. This is huge, right? It's also huge to be successful. Everything that we're successful in, we need to be consistent with, right? And so I love this concept of consistency, because if we can just be consistent, we'll earn trust. Also, being consistent attracts people to you, right? People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This means that when you're consistent, you build trust, but it also attracts people to you. They want to be around you. They think you're inspiring, right? And then in a community, a team like this of people that are working on themselves, they're being consistent, it's really cool, right? You want to be part of it. It attracts people to you, to the team. They want to be part of this community, especially when you're talking about weight loss. You're talking about health, nutrition. It's hard to be consistent, isn't it? Especially because most of us live around well-meaning saboteurs. So it's good to be part of a community that's consistent. It draws people in. So just keep that in mind. Just a little side note on this. I have this, I don't know, you probably can't see it on my bookshelf unless you have amazing vision, but my grandmother had this unabridged dictionary from like the 1930s, and I got it. I got to keep it. And so we dig into words and like their older definitions a lot. Did you know what the opposite of consistent is? The opposite of consistent is unpredictable. That's powerful, isn't it? So how do you want to show up? Now, this is really interesting. This is like, I don't know. I don't even know if I should use this analogy, but we're training a puppy right now. How many of you guys have ever trained a dog or have dogs? or gave up on training the dog and just whatever, the dog's fine. So we're training a puppy right now. I mean, he's not really a puppy. He's 8 months old. So he's like 80 pounds. But the number one thing that makes dogs act poorly, right? Where they bite, where they're nasty and all that, is when they feel like you're unpredictable. An unpredictable owner makes an insecure dog. Well, the thing is like, we're not dogs, but we're the same way. Unpredictable makes us really uncomfortable. So consistent is what we want to be. All right, now let's just talk about this real quick. How many of you would say you're consistent products of your own product? Using your products, right? I hope so. What's the point, right? Okay. I actually, just a little story, quick story. I was actually at a conference it wasn't your company, it was another company. I was at a conference, so I was invited there to speak. And somebody came up to me who had used Teamzy, he'd been through my boot camp once before. And he said, Eric, maybe you can help me. He goes, my results have been horrible this year. Like my business is just going down. And he goes, do you think it has anything to do with the fact that I'm not using the product myself anymore? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe 100% it does, right? We got to be consistent with our products. Why would somebody jump into a lifestyle you're not willing to lead? Right? This is true in anything. You got to walk the walk, right? How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey on social media? All right. Okay, great. How many of you are working on that? Starting now. It's important, right? I mean, here's the thing. Maybe you're like me and you really dislike the thought of social media because a lot of it is negative, but at the same time, it's an amazing blessing. So I don't like the companies that own social media, right? I hate supporting them, but yet it's still a vehicle that lets me connect with other people, lets me connect person to person and help others. So that's an amazing gift. And it is a way. So I'm just telling you guys, for some of you, because I come across this all the time, especially lately, where people are like, I don't want to do social media. I don't like it. It's like, okay, but you're withholding blessing from thousands of people that you have access to, right? And so this is a way that we can use this vehicle to reach other people. So it's very important. All right. So this is all great. Like you can use your products, you can be consistent on social. Those are important things, but the rubber really meets the road with relationships. And so the question is, are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are about posting on social, for example? And I don't know if you're like me, but when I started my business in the beginning, I made a couple posts on social. I got a bunch of new customers. I was like, wow, this is easy, right? And then I had diminishing returns on those after a short time. And here's what I realized. Social media is a great tool, but if you want to build a business, it's still person to person that matters. It's relationship building, which is the key to our business, is a contact sport. You got to be in regular contact with people. You want to build relationships, you got to be in regular contact with people. And I know your time is scarce, which don't worry. That's why we built Teamzy. So you can do it. You can get in and out in less than an hour every day. Okay. And I'll show you that in a second, but I want you to get this big principle. This is the big principle of the day before I jump into Teamzy. And this is it. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. And you guys have that written down because I'm going to turn off my thing for a second. I want to see your faces real quick. All right. So real quick on this, as I take a little drink. Investing time connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. So let me just give you a quick example. How many of you ever received just like a really great handwritten card or letter from somebody you love? Yeah. And when you read it, it was like, oh my gosh, right? It's amazing how impactful it is. It can be, you could live with a spouse every single day and they tell you they love you every day, but they write it down in a card. It's like, wow, isn't that amazing? It's amazing how much now you guys all raised your hand. Here's the question I have for you. When you were thinking of that card, did you keep it? Did you save it? How many of you saved them? You got a big stash of these somewhere? All right. And then here's another thing about these that blows my mind is that when our loved ones pass on, we keep their letters and cards, don't we? Like that's the thing we keep. Probably some of you have a card or a letter from a loved one that you saved, that something they received. I mean, it's kind of amazing. I once had somebody give me, they'd gone to an estate sale and they bought a box of letters that somebody had saved. And they gave it to me because I knew I'd love it, right? And it was love letters back and forth between a husband and wife from World War II, a shoebox full of them. So cool, right? I didn't even know these people and I've kept them. It's amazing the lingering value that has. Now, here's another example of something. Have you ever received, Ben's seen me do this before. Have you guys ever received like a birthday postcard from, like these are from my life insurance salesperson, right? Birthday postcard. You get these? Yeah. Deanna's like, yeah, I get these. Did you keep this in the special place? You threw these away, right? These don't have the same value. I mean, you probably, nobody has one of these as the bookmark in the family Bible. Does anybody have a letter as a bookmark in the family Bible? That's a common thing. That's why I asked that. So these are not kept. We don't value these. Look, he even gave me 2 years in a row. I got the same card from him. You're laughing because I'm going to tell you why we don't value them. Remember the principle? If you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect. So this required 0 investment of time. It's automated. So we don't put any value. We know he didn't put any time into this, so we don't value it. The second piece is this is not a personal connection. It's a bulk mail out. So it's not even personalized. It required 0 time. We put 0 value on it, right? This is called, in my real estate world, this is called top of mind marketing. And top of mind marketing is pretty much ineffective unless you're going to do what I'm going to tell you next, which is connecting personally with people, right? We want to be connecting personally with people, investing a little time. Now, what we've done with Teamzy is we've structured it so that you can have that big impact, like, hey, I just put a lot of time and energy into you personally without actually spending a lot of time and energy. Does this make sense? But it's still personal. You're still taking some time out. May just be a little bit of time, but it's still time dedicated to that person. And I have people all the time today in Teamzy community, which is our Facebook group. How many of you guys are using Teamzy already? So you're probably in the Teamzy community group. Somebody said, how come I can't bulk assign 50 connects at once? I want to bulk assign 50 connects at once. And it's like, this is why. This is why. I'm sorry it takes you 4 seconds out of your time to log that connect, but I want you investing 4 seconds into each person. All right. It's going to make a big difference. It's going to make a big difference in how they receive that. And when you see other trainers or teachers going, hey, everybody, I've got a shiny new marketing system for your business. It's automated. You don't have to touch it. It's automatic. Don't worry. It feels personal. Yeah. That's what somebody told my life insurance guy too. Right? Are you with me? Okay, great. I think we've got Deanna sold. Ben, she's ready. Everybody else stay on the conversation. Deanna, just put your credit card number in the chat. We'll get you going. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. Back into this. So I've got one more slide. Here we are. So you got that point. Investing time, connecting with people. It's the only way to deepen relationships. This is an important concept. All right, so this is all great philosophically. How many of you guys are in like, yeah, relationship marketing sounds like me. Perfect. But you got to have a system to this. You can't just be people. I meet people all the time and they're like, hey, that's what I do. I do that kind of stuff. Yeah. And a lot of you probably are really good at this naturally, but you got to have a system, right? You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships, just not who pops in your head this morning. Know when you're going to contact people. Know what you're going to say to them. So you're not staring at your screen going, what am I going to say? And make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. Okay. All right. So let me see here. Where's Teamzy? Let's jump in here real quick. Demo Teamzy. So first off, I want you guys to know, if you're not already using Teamzy, you can get a free trial. Go to teamzy.com. It's that simple. I won't ask for your credit card number or anything like that. You get it in a free trial. It's free. Enjoy it. You can tell me your name is Mickey Mouse and we'll have no connection ever. It's fine. if that's what you want. However, put in your real email address because I send really helpful emails with training tips for your first 2 weeks. Okay, so you will want those. All right, here we go. Once you've signed up for your free trial, this is what it's going to look like. And of course, we have a custom version for Optavia. We want to make sure that you choose that. When you sign up, it'll ask you like, what company are you with? Choose the right version. Okay. And once you come in here, you're going to come through. There's a little video here we're going to skip because you got me live. I'm going to show you just some of the high points. Okay. So when you come into Teamzy at first, you're going to set an income goal. And this is really cool because you just need to tell us like how much money you want to earn with your business. And then Teamzy is going to tell you exactly what to do to get there. Isn't this cool? So when you get here, you can slide this little slider up or down. And if you go up, you'll see that the amount of work you have to do every day goes up too. It makes sense, right? And if you go down, it goes down. So I definitely recommend if you can spend an hour a day in your business, make your goal at least 6 figures. Okay. Make your goal at least 6 figures. So you can see my goal is 150,000. That was my goal when I was doing Beachbody because that was what my salary was. And I just wanted, my first goal was to replace my salary and spend more time with my kids. So in order to do that, I need to connect every day to 19 people based on what Teamzy's telling me. I got to connect to my pre-clients, 9 of them, my clients and my coaches. Okay. Are you guys with me? Okay, great. Once I've got that set up, what happens, which is pretty cool, is now Teamzy is set up and configured to my goals. So each one of you will have a custom dashboard, which is pretty neat. The next step of setting up is we want to get all your contacts into Teamzy. So they're in one place, no more sticky notes, no more pads of paper, no more Excel spreadsheets that you haven't updated in 3 years, right? Or other systems that you guys might be using, napkins, whatever, okay? True story, I can't even tell you how many people organize their life on sticky notes. It's amazing. I actually had this is years ago now, this is 20 years ago. I had a real estate agent that I coached from Honolulu, Hawaii. And we got on the phone and I'm like, okay, let's talk about your database of relationships. And she's like, okay, great. Let me go get it. I said, well, where is it? She's like, it's in a shoebox under my bed. She literally had a shoebox with slips of paper. And we had to spread them out on her floor and organize them into groups on pieces of paper. This is what we had to do, right? So if this isn't motivating me to create things like Teamzy to help you guys, nothing will, right? So we want all your contacts in Teamzy. It's cloud-based, which means you'll always have access to it. If you've got your smartphone, if you buy a computer, if you've got internet access, Teamzy's there for you. Okay. So you don't need to, when you meet somebody out about, you don't have to write their name down on the back of the church program. You can pull out your phone, put them in Teamzy. They're there, right? Makes sense. Now, the other thing that Teamzy is going to do for you is I'm going to show you this in a second. It cycles all of your relationships through your dashboard so that nobody ever falls through the cracks, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you how that works. So you're going to you want to get your team in first, then you want to get any clients you have in there, then you want to get all of your, prospects would be everyone else you know. So maybe your Facebook friends, you can import that with one click if you use our Google Chrome extension, which is pretty cool. Usually if you start with Facebook, you're a good start. Then you can add other social media platforms if you're well connected there and start building up the list. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So once you got all that set up, Teamzy's ready to launch, and here it is. Here's your dashboard. Okay, and I'm just going to show you some pieces of this. We'll dive into this and then we'll do some Q&A. So just really quick on this, you notice right here where it says today's activities, you've got your pre-clients, you've got your clients, you've got your coaches. So those are my connect goals for today, right? I'm going to connect with those people. Now, just to be clear, I'm not going to send them some cheesy sales script. I'm not going to send them a link from corporate to watch a video or something, right? You guys have those, right? But that's not an appropriate thing to do. That's like the go for no stuff. Make sense? What I want to do is just reach out and make their day. That's it. Make someone's day. And so I call this the make someone's day mindset. That's where we're going to live. When you're doing a power hour, your goal is just to make people's day. And it's so funny because I have a consulting client who calls these MSDs, make someone's day. And she has like on her whiteboard, like how many MSDs she's going to do. And it always cracks me up when she says it. I said, it sounds like some sort of drug. And she goes, well, they are addicting. So MSDs, right? So we're going to connect with pre-clients, clients, and coaches. Our goal is based on $150,000 annual goal. That's 19 connects. And what I mean is I'm just going to send them a message, right? It's going to take me seconds. I'm going to send them a message on Messenger or a text message, whatever's appropriate. I'm going to send them a quick message and that's it. Okay. And then I've also got a goal over here of shares. This is me actually sharing the business opportunity with somebody or sharing a product solution for them. Okay. So that's what a share is. And then I've got a goal to add new people. Okay. I've got a goal to add new people. So those are my goals for the day. Now, here's what I need to understand is I've set an annual goal, but I don't have to think about it anymore. I just need to hit today's goal because today's the only day we've got, right? Today's the only day we've got. If you want a business that's big, who wants a business that's big? All right. You need to have a focus that's small, right? If you want a business that's big, you need to have a focus that's small. Just really quick on this. This is a little tangent, but since Ben's here, I got to share this story. All right. So when I was getting ready to marry my beautiful bride, Lisa, our pastor took me on a hike. Right? Took me on a hike up this mountain. Now I live in San Diego, so mountain is, we can walk up it in 2 hours. It's not a mountain like maybe where you guys live or some of you live, but it was a mountain. We hiked up this mountain and it was like a man-to-man bonding experience. We get up to the top of this mountain. We're sitting down on this rock overlooking San Diego. Beautiful. And he says, Eric, I want to talk to you about this marriage commitment. I said, okay, I'm ready for it. I knew this was coming. Let's do it. He says, marriage is not a lifetime commitment. What? He says, you need to understand that marriage is not a lifetime commitment. He says, if you think marriage is a lifetime commitment, this is not going to work out for you. What do you mean? He said, marriage is a daily commitment. Marriage is a daily commitment. He said, if you put something off to the end of your lifetime, then you're missing a lot of days in the middle. Right? And so I was like, wow, what a convicting thing, right? He said, every morning when you wake up, you need to pray to God, help me to be the best husband I can be today. Today. And if you can, for a lifetime, make that commitment daily, you're going to be fine. And it's not just marriage. It's true in everything. We're only given today. We're only given today. You want to be successful, you got to be committed today. Right? This is the season, and you guys are in this business right now. This is a boon business for you right now. This is when everyone's putting on weight. So you're going to find the people that are going to go, no, I don't want to put on weight for the next month and a half. I want to actually go negative. Right? But this is where everybody's putting it off till January now. So it's like, put it off till January. You're going to gain an extra 12 pounds. How hard is it going to be then? Your business is the same way. I'm going to put it off till January. Eric, oh my gosh. Ben, thank you for getting Eric to do Teamzy. It's so great. I'm going to start first thing January 1st. Sound familiar? You only have today. That's why Teamzy is set up on today's goals, and that's it. Tomorrow, if you skip Teamzy for 2 weeks and you come in, does it say, hey, loser, you're behind 2 weeks? No, it says, guess what? Welcome to today's goal. This is today's goal. Are you with me? And people are like, but I need to catch up. I'm like, no, you don't. You just need to do today's goal. Just get back in it and do today's. Just get back in and get into today. Are you with me? Okay. Sorry, I love telling that story because I just think it's like amazing. It was like a life-changing moment, right? And so anyway, here we go. So those are our daily goals. Those are my activities. Now, here's the great thing too, is when I'm done, I'm done. I don't have to wonder, did I do enough today? I can just be done. So let me show you how to do this. Because we've already used up most of our time. I'm going to bang through this quick, then we'll do Q&A. Teamzy's CRM. CRM means customer relationship manager. Have you guys heard that term before? Maybe use one at work. Basically, it's software people hate to use. Like it's just boring, complicated filing cabinet stuff. Keeps track of all your contacts, all their information. We got their names of their dogs, their address, their favorite coffee drink, keep all that in there. But rather than it being a filing cabinet, we've also built like a personal assistant into it. And what Teamzy does for you every day is it prepares your power hour list for you. So you don't have to think or plan ever. So when you log into Teams, you come down to right here where it says Power Hour, and it's going to prepare your up next lists. 5 people in each category: pre-clients, clients, coaches, and your follow-ups list. Okay. Simple. And what you do is you message whoever's up next. Don't overthink it. Just do it. So we're going to start with our pre-clients. First person up is Ben. Okay. So we're going to send him a message. What the heck am I going to say to him? This is where you guys overthink. So what we did was we put all of my scripts in Teamzy for you. After the first year of Teamzy, people were like, we love this, but I have no idea what to say. Great. I put all my scripts in. Now you've got no excuse. Go for it. So when he comes up, on the left side is going to be the list of names. The right side is where I log what I sent him so that it's tracked in Teamzy. Super easy. But right here where it says scripts, you see that? I'm going to click on that. This is where I get my MSD script. We'll message him on Facebook. So I'm going to choose that category. And let me just pick the first one here. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Super simple, right? Super simple. As simple as that script is, I want you guys to know it took me like 10 years to get that script just right. Isn't that crazy? To just get it just right. There's like 4 different psychological things happening in that script that result in them just feeling comfortable and smiling. That's the point. So what I'm going to do is click on copy script. I'm just going to paste it in here because I've got to change the name. He probably doesn't like being called Jane, at least not by me. Right? Are you guys with me? Okay, so change the name, put in some emojis, get it the way you like it. I don't know. Send him something that maybe he'll like. Okay, so look, just get this exactly how you want it and then copy it and go send it. So I've got Facebook open right here. We're gonna look him up. Actually, it looks like he's already open right here. So here we go. We're just gonna paste it in there. Paste it in and send it. Don't overthink it. Just send it. Okay. So I've got Teamzy and Facebook open on 2 tabs on my computer so I can go back and forth quickly. So if you're on your phone, you just toggle between the apps. Okay. So let's log this here. So I'm going to finish it. Click on the big blue button that says log connect. Now watch what happens when I hit log connect. Watch what happens to his name on the left. It disappears. And now my list is moved up. I've got a new person at the bottom. Does this make sense? And if you look up at the top, it says I've got 1 done, 8 left. So the next person up is Jay. I'm going to send her a message. I'll probably just use that same script. It's already on my clipboard. Just paste it in there and then change the name to Jay. Now, always, when you're starting a new chat with somebody, always use their first name. Little pro tip. Don't change it to hey, buddy. Hey, girl. Right? Don't do that, because what that does is it depersonalizes it. It makes them wonder if this was a mass text that went to a lot of people. Make sense? So I'm copying this. I'm going to go toggle over to Facebook. I'm going to send it to Jay. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing. There she is. We're going to message this to Jay. Okay, send it over. Boom. That's sent. We did it real time. Logged. Done. 2 done, 7 left. You guys see how easy this is? And just send those messages. Boom, boom, boom. My goal was 9. I'm just going to go down my list till I'm done. Change the name, send. Change the name, send. Change the name, send. Now, what happens is people will start responding right away. Some will take longer. Some will respond right away. My tip for you is not to run after and having the conversations right this second. Get all the outgoing messages done in your power hour first. So you don't get distracted. Okay, just let them wait there for a minute. But if you haven't done anything or got a new customer in a while, you're going to be excited when they come in and want to jump on them. Just discipline yourself to get all the outgoing messages done. When I'm done with my pre-client list, this blue circle will be filled in. That's how I know I'm done with that list. I can go to the next list, which is my current or past clients. I'm going to message them the same way, just catching up, just checking in, just staying in touch. Make sense? Now, this is pretty cool. Let me just show you how this works. Luis is here. I'm going to go to scripts. Teamzy knows now that I'm on clients, so it's going to give me different scripts, which is pretty cool. So I've got some cool scripts. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products, right? So take out the products and put in what they're doing. How are you enjoying it? How's it going? How's everything happening? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay, great way to check in with people. This is my favorite one for customers. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. So simple. right? Now, you don't have to be salesy when you're connecting with customers. You just need to be in touch. You just need to be present, right? Now think about like great service at a beautiful restaurant or something. What does great service feel like? It's they're present. They're not annoying. They're not always trying to sell you something, but they're always available for you, right? They're there and they're making sure you're having a good time. So same thing with your customers. You want to just stay in touch with them, right? You got your scripts. You just message them out. You know, I'm not going to actually send this in Facebook, but you get the idea. I'm going to log it and I'm going to work my way down my clients list until I get my goal. It'll be pink. I'm done. Move over to coaches. Now, just real quick on this before I jump over to this, I just want to explain how important it is talking to clients past and present. So if you're in regular contact with them, they're going to order more product and retain longer. That's a statistical fact. Okay. So if you're in regular contact, not every single one, it's statistical, which means overall they'll order more product and will retain longer, which is our goal, right? Just by being present. But the most important piece of this is that, well, let me just pose this question to you. How many of you have a client right now that you just love? Like, oh my gosh, I need more people like you. Can you guys think of somebody? Yeah. Okay. That's you, Deanna. You're that client for him. So here's the question. The question is, where do you get people like that? Where do you find more? Right? Where do you find more? And this is like the age-old question. You know, the first thing I told you guys on tonight's call is that you got to think about where you're going to create your leads from, right? So where are you going to get more great customers like that? And so I'll spare you the suspense and just tell you the best place to find new customers is from your customers. Now, every business knows this. Every business knows this. The best place to find new customers is from your customers. The question is, how are you going about it? How are you going about it? Now, what a lot of people say is like, oh, well, you know, if you come across anyone who needs help with this, tell them about me. Why don't you take 5 of my business cards and give them to your friends? Right? I worked with a guy who said, it's like driving down the freeway and you throw your business cards out the window and say, Lord, let this business card fly into someone else's window who needs me, right? What's the chance of that miracle happening? It's slim to none that people will remember to tell somebody about you and have your number on hand and everything when they need it. But what we want to do, you guys, is get people to introduce you to their friends and family. We got to get them to introduce you proactively to their friends and family. How do you do that? Well, step 1 is you got to be in contact with them. Because if I call up Ben and say, hey, Ben, I know it's been a year since we spoke, but I'm sure that you would like to introduce me to your friends and family who are fat and need to lose weight. Could you do that for me? He'd be like, no, go pound sand, right? Of course not. But if we're connecting on a regular basis, we've got a great relationship, it becomes easy for me to ask for those introductions because I've already invested and served the relationship. He knows where I'm coming from and he knows how I'm going to serve and invest in his friends and family. Does it make sense? And so then I can say, hey, man, you've done amazing. I mean, 70 pounds in 6 months, like your results are unreal. And I'm sure that your friends and family have noticed. And you've probably had conversations about Optavia with them. And so, you know, I want to make sure that I take care of your friends and family because you're my favorite customer. So before I get too busy this month, is there anybody that you care about who needs more information on this system? He says, well, yeah, you're right. I have been talking to everybody about it. And just off the top of my head, Deanna and Karen were asking me about it yesterday. Perfect. Would you mind introducing them to me? Whatever's easiest for you, Ben, just a quick group chat, group text, group email, whatever's easiest, do a quick intro and I'll get them more info. It doesn't sound that hard, does it? But it takes intentionality. It takes, my goal is to get introduced to your friends and family. Now, here's the thing, like we don't have time for the advanced class in this. So I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can in here. Ben asked me, he said, pour into these people, please. So that's what I'm doing. You get to a point of confidence where the first conversation where you're like, hey, I want to know your goals. I want to know what we're trying to achieve. And just so you know, my goal is that you're going to be so thrilled with what we do that you're going to be excited to introduce me to people. The next group of people I can help. So I'm going to put everything into you so that you do that happily. I just plant that in your head right now as we get started. Like for me, it's like part of the first conversation, because my goal is to help your friends and family too. Are you guys with me? It's not salesy or cheesy. This is just coming from a place of wanting to care for people. Now, I'll just give you an analogy. How many of you ever worked in restaurants and bars or hospitality? Okay. Wow. All right. Good. We got like, what is that? We got more than half the group. So I did too. I worked my way up from picking up cigarette butts in the parking lot to washing the dishes, to prepping the food, to serving the plates, to tending the bar and running the whole place, right? That was my whole life up until my mid-20s when I finally, as my mom would say, got a real job. However, those were real jobs too. And here's what I learned was that when I was waiting tables, the reason why I waited tables so long was that I made a lot of money waiting tables. I figured out the secret right away. The secret right away was everything I've been telling you guys about being present, making sure people have a great time, letting them know ahead of time your goals that they're going to have a great time. You're not just here to bring the food, but to create an experience, and letting people know at the end of the meal that if they had friends or family who had a special occasion, anniversary, birthday, anything, and they wanted to make sure that they had an awesome experience, to have them come ask for me. And I could go in on a Tuesday night and have all my tables full. People thought that I was paying off the hostesses. Like, no, they're asking for them. They're asking for them. They're asking for them. Any business, it's the same thing. It's not like, oh, he's a pushy salesperson. It's like, no, oh, really? You take care of my aunt for me? I'm sending her over to you. That's awesome. I'm glad to know they're taken care of. This is what I want you guys to understand. When you're getting introduced, you're offering to help their friends and family. It's not like you're trying to get something from them. It's a different heart set. Make sense? Okay. Real quick on this. Back real quick. Don't believe me when I say real quick. It's not going to be real quick. I'm going to talk fast, but we're not going to get there quick. All right. So pre-clients, clients, and then next will be your team, just connecting with your team, coaches on your team. It's just as important. By the way, we named it Teamzy because the team's the most important thing. If you don't build the team, you don't build the business, you don't build the life, right? And here's the dirty little secret that's not talked about a lot in our industry. Everyone's teaching you how to recruit. Everyone's teaching you how to get new customers, right? But no one's teaching you how to retain your coaches. The turnover rate is not fun, right? It's not fun to watch people quit. How do you keep your coaches? You work so hard to bring them on. How do you keep them engaged so that you can help them be successful? Well, there's several things, but the most important one is connection, relationship. It's relationship. People will stay, even if, like, people think, oh, they're money motivated. People are not money motivated. I mean, people are survival motivated, right? They need money. But what makes them stay is the connection, the relationship. And as the leader of your team, that's yours is the most important. So this is why Teamzy is going to help you just stay in touch. Hey, man, I was thinking about you today. How many of you are surprised sometimes that so much time has passed since you've connected with somebody? You think it was yesterday, but it was 2 or 3 months ago, right? So Teamzy is going to help you stay in touch with your team. As the team grows big, and everyone raised their hand when I said, who wants a big business? As the team grows big, it's going to be harder to manage these hellos. That's why you need Teamzy, right? So we're going to be messaging your pre-client, your client, your coaches. That's your power hour, the first half. And my goal was 150K. That's 19 messages. How quick do you think I can send those? Right? Maybe, well, let's just say 30 minutes if you're new, right? To send those 19 messages, 30 minutes. So what do I do for the next half of my power hour? I work my follow-ups list. My follow-ups list is next. Now, just to clarify, what do I mean by follow-ups? Because people always use this term incorrectly. When I'm reaching out to connect with you, just to say hi, to make your day, that's not a follow-up. What am I following up on? That's a connect. Make sense? And so as I'm building relationships with you, let's say, you know, I message Deanna and she says, oh, it's great to hear from you, Eric. And the conversation goes for a minute and then fizzles out. Do I need to follow up on that? No, it's just a quick conversation. However, she will automatically come back up on my list based on her rating that I gave her in Teamzy, 5 stars every 30 days, 4 stars every 60, 3 stars every 90, and so on. She'll just come back automatically. I don't have to think about it, set a follow-up or anything. Next time she comes up on Teamzy, I message her again. Conversation goes a little farther this time. Does this make sense? However, if I'm talking to, I'm going to bring Ben back in as my example. I'm talking to Ben and he's interested now in learning more about Optavia. Now I'm going to take this conversation from, hey, how you been, man? To like, hey, let's get professional and talk about your goals, right? And now I'm going to have him on my follow-ups list because now it's going to be a more professional conversation. So let me kind of show you how this works. Let's say I'm talking to him and, you know, how you been? He's, oh, we're great. You know, the first goal of that conversation, you guys, is to just find out what's going on in his life. Like, get his update. Like, what are you guys doing? You have big plans for the holiday? What are you guys up to? And just find out, ask questions, be interested, you know, find out what's going on in his life. Now, here's what happens is when people tell you about their life, like if you were catching up with somebody at the supermarket you haven't seen in 10 years, you bump into each other. Oh my gosh, what have you been up to? They tell you. What are you going to do? You're going to tell them what you're up to, right? It's called the law of reciprocity. It's just really simple, basic stuff. Don't overthink this stuff. He's going to tell me what's going on with him. I'm going to tell him what's going on with me. And so, you know, like you're going to just tell him little things. Like I already told you guys about my puppies. I already told you about my kids. Like this is normal. What else am I going to tell you about? My Optavia business. Did I tell you I started a home-based business? Yeah, it's been awesome. I don't know if you noticed, you know, I know it's been 10 years, but I actually lost 70 pounds with this program. I'm using his story, but you get the idea. I lost 70 pounds with this program. Now I'm paying it forward, helping other people with it. It's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. It's been awesome. Now, what are they going to say? Cool, man. Good for you. Now, here's what I want you guys to know. This is a principle that I've uncovered through years of banging my head against the wrong wall, right? So you don't have to. I'm just going to tell you. If you share with somebody what you do and why you're passionate about it, what you do and why you're passionate about it. So don't say I activate people's inner woman to empower the greatness within. That kind of crap. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. Say I work with a company called Optavia. This is what they do. This is why I love it. This is why I'm passionate about it. Okay. A couple of you are like, shoot, I need to go change my Facebook intro because it's been talking about activating the power within. That stuff's fine, but you can say that kind of stuff, but tell people what it is you're going to do. Make sense? This whole mystery thing, like it's got to be enshrouded, enigma enshrouded in mystery. It comes across disingenuous, just so you know. Okay. So what happens when you tell somebody what you're doing and why you're passionate about it? They're always happy for you. They're always excited for you. They always think it's really cool. As opposed to, hey, did I tell you I'm doing network marketing? Hey, are you interested in learning more about a great opportunity? Go away, right? Totally different approach. So this is exactly where I want him in this conversation. Why? Because my goal is that he becomes my advocate, not my customer. I want him to be my advocate. Wow, it's really cool. Eric helps people lose weight, regain their health. How awesome is that? How many people do I know that need that? Just a little side note. I know I keep promising I'm not going to do more tangents, but I got to tell you this story. I was at a friend's party. This is kind of a funny story. Is it okay if I take 5 minutes to tell you guys this story? So I was, we had these neighbors. The way our old house was we actually were like on a hill. And so we looked at our backyard, we looked down into their backyard, right? It was kind of bizarre, and they had, when we first moved into this house, it was this big, beautiful house that had been run down, and there was a fraternity living in it. And they had this huge yard, and these guys were always playing beer pong and playing loud country music and just being fraternity brothers. And we're like, this is really weird that we've got a fraternity here in this suburban neighborhood. Anyways, this family bought it. They renovated the house and they put in this gorgeous backyard, the pool with the grotto, waterfalls, everything. It was super cool yard. And one day they saw us like hanging out and they were like, hey, neighbors. And so, you know, we went over and we're talking to them and they're like, it was July. They said, we're having a 4th of July party. Why don't you come? We're like, okay, cool. So we went to this 4th. We didn't know anything about these people, right? Other than they were like, come on down. So we're going to this 4th of July party. This isn't part of the story that matters for you guys, but I'm still going to tell it because I think it's funny. So we're on our way and we had to drive kind of like around one street to the other side to get to their house. And I'm like, wait, we have to go. I can't come empty handed. I got to bring them something. So we ran down to the store so I could get, 12-pack of beer or something to bring. So I bring in some cold beer, set it down, walk in. They're like, hey, welcome. I come in with the beer. And then as soon as I walk through the door and I'm like, where do you want me to put the beer? He looked at me funny and I looked and I realized it was a Mormon party. So nobody wanted the beer, which was fine. I was embarrassed, but I put the beer on the side. Little side note though, when I left, I went to take the beer home and it was gone. It had been consumed secretly by all the other people at the party. Anyways, have you ever heard the story about taking a Baptist fishing? Have you guys heard this one? All right, I'm just going to go for it. So they say never take one Baptist fishing, because if you take one Baptist fishing, they'll drink all your beer. You take two Baptist fishing, no one will touch one. Right? No? Okay. All right. I'm getting too off the reservation, but here's what happened in this party. It was really, the people were great. We really enjoyed them. Just meeting new people and talking about them. They're like, "What do you do, man?" And I'm like trying to explain Teamzy to people. They're like, "What? What is that?" So I'm talking to this guy, and I said, "Well, what do you do?" And he says, "I have a home hospice care company." And I was like, "Ooh, wow." I said, "Wow, is that hard? It seems like that would be a really hard business. Like, I don't know if I could do that." He says, "You know something, Eric? It's the most rewarding work in the world." He goes, "These are people who, you know, we literally have their lives in our hands, and it's our job to make their time, to make them feel loved and cared for, in their last moments on earth. I can't even tell you, I can't imagine anything more rewarding." And he was so passionate about it. I have to tell you guys, like, I never been so excited about home hospice care, because his passion was infectious and inspiring. And he made an advocate of me right then and there. Right. And here's what I told him: "I hope I never need your service. And I really hope I don't come across other people who need it. But when I do, I will definitely connect them to you." Right. And do you guys get this? Do you get where I'm going with this? So when I'm talking to you about my Optavia business, it's not because I'm looking at you up and down going, "You need to get with this program, buddy." It's because I want you to know this is my passion. This is how I help people. In your head, I want the wheels spinning of, okay, he can help people I know. He could help me. Make sense? Are you guys with me? And what didn't happen was, like, I didn't expect him to be like, "Eric, while we're on this conversation, would you mind if I send you a link? Because you can prepay your hospice care now," right? Like, he didn't try to sell me. Right? Are you with me? So you don't have to do the cheesy sales stuff to make sales. You just got to share people with your passion. So here's what happens. Ben and I are talking. I'm telling him what I do and what I'm passionate about it. He says, "That's so cool, man. I love that." And so I would just say something like, "Yeah, if you ever like to learn more about it, or if you have friends or family that might benefit from it, just let me know." Some people are like, "Wow, that was more simple than I thought it would be." That's it. And you're still not being pushy. You're still not being annoying. If he says no, I'm still going to be friends. We're still going to keep talking. Right. But in this example, he says yes. And you know what? I do want to learn more about it. I could stand to do what you did, and let's talk a little bit about it. Great. Oh, perfect, man. So why don't we do this? Let's schedule a time where we can talk. We can jump on a Zoom, or we can get together in person, whatever's easiest for you. And let's just chat a little bit. I want to make sure I can take some notes and see what goals you have and see if it's something I can help you with. Great. So let's say he and I, because he's in Georgia and I'm in California, so we jump on a Zoom. Right. And so what am I going to do on the Zoom? I'm going to ask a million questions. I'm going to take notes. Even though I already know I can help him, right? True. But you got to listen to what they need. They have to identify what they want, right? They have to tell you what they need, what they're struggling with, so that you can construct the program for them. So I'm taking all these questions. You know what, Ben, I can help you. I definitely can help you. Here's what I recommend. So now I'm sharing a product solution with him, right? Here's the program I think we should do. Here's what we need to do. Here's how we're going to get started. He's like, "Okay, I'm really excited. This is going to be great." Perfect. I tell you what, here, I'm going to send you all the information, everything you need to get going. And I'll check in with you tomorrow, see if you have any questions. Okay, Eric, sounds good. So now I need to go in Teamzy and make sure I've logged this. Let me just show you how to do it really quick, and then we'll do a quick Q&A. I know I've gone over. Sorry, guys. Where's my screen share? Here we go. So he's not on my dashboard anymore, so I'm going to look him up. Okay, I'm going to look him up, and that brings his record up so I can log it here. Now I'm going to put in all my Zoom notes. I'm going to put them in here so they're logged. I'm going to log this as a video chat in this case. And then See where it says share right here in the bottom left? I'm going to click on this because I actually did a share in this meeting. We weren't just chatting. I shared a product solution with them. So I'll click on products. Okay. As soon as I toggle that over to share, it sets a follow-up. Now it defaults to 2 days. I'm going to actually change it to tomorrow. So there it is. Boom. So now when I log this, look what happens. You can see that video chat, share, that's logged. The follow-up is scheduled. If I go to the dashboard, you can see I've got a share logged. Pretty cool. And if I go to my follow-ups list, there he is, due tomorrow. Cool, right? So easy. So tomorrow when I do my power hour, I'll do exactly what I showed you. Connect with pre-clients, clients, and coaches. Then I'll go see who's due on follow-ups. Ben will be due, and I will send him a follow-up message. Following up is just like sending connects. It's just messaging. It's super easy, okay, you guys? So you don't have to get all worried or concerned about it. Go to scripts, get a follow-up script. They're called follow-up in the title. And they're numbered 1 through 10. You do it in order. Can you guys do this? It's so easy, right? Follow-up number 1, copy it up. Here's what it says. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Obviously, his name's not Jane, so we're going to change the name. But you get the idea, right? Jane is my avatar, my customer avatar. Have you guys ever heard of that term? So when we built Teamzy, we created a target customer and we described her, and her name was Jane. Okay. Mark, Ben, don't be offended by this, but there's more Janes than there are Marks and Bens. Okay. So it's all good. But so that's why a lot of my scripts are written to Jane, because they're actually written to Jane. So you get the idea. We're going to copy that script. We're going to send it over to him. There he is. Paste that in. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Follow-up number 1 is done. Now watch what happens when I log a follow-up. It asks me, did that complete the follow-up you had scheduled today? So you say, yeah, leave that, but add another follow-up because we want to keep him on that follow-ups list. So let's say I follow up with him on Thursday. Great. I can leave myself a note. Just so you guys know, FU2 in my shorthand means follow-up number 2. All right. Just want to clarify that. Follow-up number 2. Okay, there we go. So we're going to create that. So now we're going to complete today's follow-up, schedule a new one. Yep, that's what we want. So now he's on my list again for Thursday. So you guys, the way this works, it's real simple. You do your power hour, you connect with people, make their day, start conversations. Some of those conversations will be great when you share, you log that share and you get them on your follow-ups list. Okay. So that every month you've got people on that follow-ups list that are coming off, they're converting, they're signing up. Okay. It's like clockwork. It's just consistent every month, consistent every month, consistent every month, starting conversations. So just real quick on this, what we want to do is get you into a place of momentum. This business is built only one way. It's through momentum. You can't do like, I'm going to add 1 person a month for 20 years because guess what? It won't grow. It's got to be through momentum. There's 4 things that have to be happening to be in momentum. Teamzy helps you do all 4. Here they are. Number 1, you're starting conversations daily. You're starting conversations daily. Number 2, you're having ongoing conversations that are leading toward a share. Ongoing conversations leading toward a share. Number 3, you're sharing. You're sharing. And number 4, you're following up on shares. If you're doing all 4 of those things on a daily basis, you're in momentum. Even if you don't have the paychecks coming in yet, you're in momentum. You're going to see them coming in. Does this make sense? If you go in and you're like, oh my gosh, this Teamzy thing was awesome. Now I just need to do my follow-ups list because I got all these people interested, and you're doing follow-ups. Yeah, you might get a nice check next month, but you'll be empty after that because you're not doing the other 3 things. You're not starting new conversations, not having ongoing conversation, not sharing. So you got to be all 4. Are you guys with me? Okay, we're going to do Q&A. Let me just give you your action steps real quick. Let's see here. Everybody needs to go to bed. I know it's late out there on the East Coast for you guys. All right, so a couple things here. First off, just to recap on Teamzy, free trial. You get 2 weeks free trial. It's super great. Teamzy.com, get the Optavia version. And with Teamzy, you get the full-fledged CRM software with the Power Hour module. So you'll be able to find every contact customer conversation. It's in your phone, it's in your computer, it's everywhere you go. You've got the intelligent module to help you crush your power hour. No planning, no thinking. You just get in there and go for it. You'll be able to view and track leads as you go, get your team motivated, and see your performance as you go. I know I'm going through it quick, but just kind of recapping what you get there. Also, my scripts library is included. So you're going to get all the scripts, know exactly what you're going to say when you're reaching out to people. These are designed for messenger, text, any type of touch point. There's even scripts in there to help you write personal note cards to people. Okay, if you guys struggle with like, I want to handwrite a card. Collection of conversation starters for staying in touch, following up, reconnecting. There's no cheesy sales scripts in here, sorry. But you can create your own scripts and save them for later. So if you have some cheesy sales scripts you really want to use, you can put those in there. You put those in there and save them for later. Has this training been helpful to you guys so far? You can tell I love to train, right? So, and of course, Teamzy does have training programs that are additional costs that you can invest in. We're not talking about those here today though, but it was important that you guys have some baseline training with Teamzy. So I've included this training suite that I'm going to show you really quick, Ultimate Mindset Training Suite. It's included in your Teamzy subscription for no additional cost. So you can get in there and take these trainings. There's a goal setting, I call it goal setting on steroids. It's a 4-part goal setting course, 4 different courses with downloadable workbooks. So there's like 4 pieces to goal setting. One is your BHAGs. Those are your big, hairy, audacious goals. Those are the goals your spouse laughs at when you tell them out loud, right? Then there's your SMART goals, which are the goals you're going to achieve in the next 2 months to 3 years, right? And those are the goals you can kind of actually visualize how you might get there. You've got your daily personal business standard goal, which is where you break down your business goals into what you're going to do, what you're going to commit to daily. And then you've got your why, which is the emotional motivation behind your goal. So there's 4 trainings here to help you uncover those, right? And set those up, which is pretty cool. And then I've also got a training on relationship marketing, kind of like what we did today, but a little bit more in depth. So those trainings are in there for you to get, download the workbooks and go for as soon as you're in Teams. It's just a little extra added bonus, which is pretty cool. Okay, so here's your action steps for today. Number 1, start your free trial if you haven't done it. If you're in a free trial, make sure you get your subscription set up so you don't miss a beat. Okay, we want to make sure that you get going. Now, just to kind of give you guys a idea on pricing, Teamzy's $30 a month, just less than $1, which is $1 a day, right? To have everything done for you. But we have a special pricing right now for Optavia Coach. It's 1/3 off the regular price. Then you're going to make sure you're getting this price. I don't know what price you're paying, but so 1/3 off the regular price, $19.95 a month. If you guys sign up at that price, you can lock that in. We'll keep you at that rate as long as you keep your subscription. Okay. For those of you who really love Teamzy and you want to save even more, if you do an annual where you do 12 months at a time prepay, you actually get another 2 months value out of that. So it's $198 for 12 months, which is pretty cool. Once you get in there, I also want you to join that Teamzy community Facebook group. You'll see the link inside Teamzy. Join that. It's a great group. There's about, I don't even know, lots of people in there. It's a great place to look for questions. Also, you'll have access to me in there from time to time. I'm not in there every day, but if you post something, I'll generally see it and find it, or one of my team will answer it for you. But it's a great place. Also, if you have a question, you just search it, because it's been asked 25,000 times already. You can probably find the answer, which is great too. Help you kind of shortcut it. And I have 2 more action steps. I know it's a lot. I want you guys to work. What can I say? I recommend that you find a 30-day success partner, right? Maybe somebody here on this call, maybe somebody that's not here. Say, hey, let's do this for a month together. Now, why 30 days? Well, you might not get along. So short commitment makes it easy to get out of, right? But maybe you will get along and you'll stay success partners ongoing, which would be great. But say, hey, let's try this for 30 days together. And what I want you guys to do as success partners is I want you to share your Teamzy goals. Like, this is what I want to achieve. How about you? Right? Get on a Zoom or something, connect before you get started. And then every day when you do your Teamzy Power Hour, I want you to screenshot it and send it to your partner. By the way, 3 people groups is great too, right? Triple braided cord. So 3 groups of 3 are great, because when one of you guys, disappears or whatever, goes on vacation, there's 2 of you still rocking. So, but send it to your partners. They'll be super irritated because they didn't do anything today and they got your screenshot, right? And it'll motivate them to do it. This is what's so amazing about accountability, is that we don't do anything really for ourselves, do we? But we'll do anything for others. So leverage it, right? Get some success partners. You guys could have this, it could be your best month ever, or you could sign up for a free trial, never log in, It disappears like we do all the time, right? All right, one more action step. Man, you guys are, oh, I went too far. Don't worry, that's just an extra slide. That's not what we're doing. There it is. 5-day challenge. The Teamzy 5-day challenge. Here's the challenge. I want you to use Teamzy 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row, and I want you to send 100 messages. Okay? 20 a day. Can you do it? What will happen is you'll probably curse me a little bit because it'll be insane. The response will be insane. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to throw my phone. It's just beeping all the time. So, but why do I want you to experience that? Not because I'm mean or anything. My kids think that sometimes. They say, mean dad. I want you to know that you can create massive momentum at any time in your business. That people are excited to hear from you. That when you reach out to people and you make a concerted effort to do it, you're going to get great response. See, in this business, people say things all the time. Oh my gosh, team calls, it's like ubiquitous. It's like, hey, it's a slow time of year. Or I've already gone through my warm market, or, there's not much happening right now. And we say these stories to justify really a lack of action on our parts. And we start to believe them, right? We start to believe them. And then what happens is somebody else on the team's like, yeah, he said it was slow. So maybe that's what's wrong with me. It's slow right now. No. If you do the Teamzy challenge, 5-day challenge, it's going to blow your mind. You'll never believe that story anymore. When you have a teammate that says it's slow, what you need is a Teamzy 5-day challenge. Okay. Now I'm just going to give you a little tip on this. Set aside some time to answer messages so that you're not on your phone all day long. Because once you start using Teamzy, you'll want to be on your phone all day long. That's not the point. We want you to have a life. So here's what I recommend. Here's what I did. How many of you have a job in addition to your business? So that's a gift, right? By the way, even if your goal is to get rid of your job, it's a gift right now because it structures your time. It structures your time. So what I did was I did my power hour in the morning before work, like at 4. I did it like 4 a.m. People are like, how can you message people at 4 a.m.? I did it then. It's all good. 5 a.m. There you go. Then what happens is you go to work. You got a lunch break during work. I took half of my lunch break and I went and just answered messages. And I didn't look at any incoming messages until then. So they were all as unread, right? And I just went down unread messages one after the other and just answered them. After a while, you get like answers too. Just, you don't have to think about what you're going to say. It's like, oh, okay. Because it's like, hey, great to hear from you. So it's like the next question, right? So, and your phone predicts your sentences after a while too, which is pretty funny, but just be careful. Watch the autocorrect on that. Highly recommend turning autocorrect off on your phone. FYI, you can do that. Did you guys know that? You can turn it off. So I would do half my lunch hour. I'd return messages, and then I'd do it like 9 o'clock at night when my kids were asleep and it was quiet again. I would return messages, 30 minutes and 30 minutes. You'd be amazed how many you can send, right? And if I ever stopped doing that, I was a slave to my phone all day long. And my wife would go, don't you teach time blocking? Aren't you a business coach? Why don't you take your own advice? Right? Lovingly, she would say it, which is a good reminder. That's why we need spouses. All right. Is that helpful, you guys? I know. I went way over. I covered a lot, but if you guys have questions, I want you to feel free to ask them. Just unmute, ask away.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just starting out. So I'm trying to, I've actually been doing this for at least a week, but I only have 5 team members and I have no coaches. So do I, in the team member section or client, I have clients, not, I have, 5
clients and no coaches.
No coaches. So am I messaging those 5 clients ever? I'm doing it on my phone anyhow, checking in with them, but.
Well, what I would do is, okay, you see my screen, right?
Yep.
Right here on edit daily goals.
Hold on, I gotta move the window box. Where was that at?
Okay, let me go back to the dashboard.
I didn't see it, sorry.
So right here on the top right above ads, it says edit daily goals.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go there. Keep your income goal, just hit set income goal and continue. And then you can change these numbers. So what I would do is, in my case, let's say I have what you have. I would change this one to 19. What did I?
Oh,
And I would
okay.
change these to 0.
Okay. Excellent.
Because you don't really need to be reminded to stay in touch with your 5 clients at this point. And then you can change that in a few months. You can change those numbers back. Also, I would change this goal to probably 1 and this goal to 1. Okay.
Yep.
And so I actually just recently reprogrammed this to default to 1. So those of you who are starting a new account, it'll default the share and add goal to 1 because 3 was a little too aggressive for most people, which is fine. If you're sharing once a day, you're rocking, right? And you won't even, here's the truth is you won't do a share once a day until you're 3 weeks into Teamzy. Just to kind of give you guys some grace, because you don't go from, it's very rare that you go from, hey man, how's your day going? I hope you're having an awesome day, to here's your solution for Optavia today, right? So that conversation is gonna stretch out, especially because you're messaging. It's gonna stretch out over days and weeks. So when you start Teamzy, you may not be getting a lot of shares until maybe like 3 weeks in, but then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, wow, now I'm getting shares. So it moves in that, if that makes sense. Right. So there's a little grace there, you guys. So I don't want you coming in and going, oh my gosh, I got 0 on share again today. I'm such a loser. Just give yourself a little bit of grace on that and know that you will get there as you get going. But when these circles are filled in all full like this, it is very exciting. Right. It is very exciting. So does that help? All right. And that probably answered a question for 2 or 3 people. Any other questions?
So I have a question for you. So adding in new people, like from Facebook, if you've gone in and you've added in, I don't know how to go back in to find the new people I've added. Is there an easier way to do that besides doing individually, or would you want to upload like once a week?
So yeah, great question. You know, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to add them individually as you meet them.
Okay.
But I know you're going to fall behind sometimes. It's normal. And so, you know, I would find myself going to my new friends in Facebook and being like, who did I add? Are they in Teamzy? Right. And then maybe add them that way. The benefit to adding them individually is that you can send them a connect right then and log it.
Okay.
You can set their, you know, their rank and everything. You can put any notes you want in right then. So that's the benefit of doing that way. But if you are do you use Chrome as a browser, Karen?
Yeah.
So if you use Google Chrome, we have like a 1 button that syncs your Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can actually just, whenever you want, you can just hit that button and it'll sync anybody new. It just takes a couple minutes. So understand that it takes a few minutes to do it. So don't do it if you're in a hurry to log a message, because it's going to take like 3 minutes to run. So like if you want to sync your new Facebook groups, you know, and you're going to go make a cup of coffee, like click it, go make a cup of coffee, come back, right? Because I'm always in a hurry. I'm one of those personalities. So, well, at least I think I am. Telling you, I lived in New York for a year and I realized I'm not in a hurry compared to them. You know, people in New York actually, like they don't have horns, but they basically yell at you if you're walking too slow on the sidewalk.
Well, I'm originally from California, so I learned coming to Georgia, it's a little lower here than it was there.
Yeah, well, I think California was like a slowdown for me from the East Coast, but then, yeah, and then I have people telling me all the time, like I had to leave California, too fast paced for me. So, but I'm in the beachy area, you know, so it's all good. But that's the idea, is you can hit that button and sync them. But the thing is that once you've synced them, they just go into Teamzy, like they're in there somewhere.
Okay.
So it's a little less proactive of like, okay, I'm going to add this person. I'm going to put a note on their profile. Right. There is a section on the team page that's called recent ads. So you can click that and see everyone that's been added to Teamzy in the last 2 weeks. So that lets you go back and do that. But typically try to, plus you're going to get credit for the ads on your circles, right? So that's an extra bonus to add them. But if you get behind, just sync them up.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Sure thing.
So when I add people, it's not giving me my ads. What am I doing wrong?
It's not giving you your ads if you import a group, a list.
Singly, it hasn't.
Really? It doesn't. It can't do something for me and not do it for you because it's all the same. So, okay, let's do it together. Let's see if we're doing it right. So add contact, right?
Yep.
I can't type today, but create contact. There you are. Okay, great. We're going to put any notes we want in here. Do you have any dogs, pets?
I have 2.
2 dogs. See, look at this. And I would probably put their names. Just give you an idea, just adding 1 data point. Okay, so you're there. I go back to my dashboard. There it is. I had 1, now I have 2. Is that how you're doing it?
Yep.
All right, so just try refreshing your browser. Maybe your browser came back to a cached page or something. But
Okay.
but if it created that person's contact, you refresh it, it'll be there. Also, I just wanted to show you this recent ads right here. So if you click on recent ads, it'll bring up the list of people you've added recently in the last 2 weeks. So you can see I've got the 2 of you there. So if you're not sure if that person got created, you can toggle over there and see. All right. Any other questions? Well, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. Since I recorded on my end, I'll send you the link, Ben, and then you'll have it. You can share it with folks who weren't here tonight.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you so much. And yes, we, I don't know, I felt like it was a lot of value. I took some notes and then was taking screenshots of a video I can go back and watch, but I was just taking some screenshots and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just a lot of good value. Eric, I really appreciate it, man. So
I appreciate it too. You guys have a great man as a leader. He said he was honored to have me. I'm honored to be here with you guys. So God bless you all. Thank you for the time. Welcome to the Teamzy family. And if you have any questions, follow-up questions, you know how to find me.
all right. Thank you.
Have a great night, y'all.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Bye.